Greetings, all of you. You call me Ninjayatsu, and welcome here to One Piece Bounty Rush. I forgot to record right away, so I'll be giving you a bonus gameplay after this. So in this gameplay, I am playing as Team Dark, specifically Pacifista and Ganfall. They work together very nicely as a team, but they have very unusual builds. For Pacifista, what I found works best is actually an HP and defense build for his shield. And for Ganfall, I went with mostly attack, which is very unusual for a defender to rely on. However, that seems to work the best. Now on to game 2. Let's start with Ganfall here. I used the skill 1 to get to the treasure early because I have played this game long enough to know you cannot trust your teammates with that. And you get skill 1 back pretty quickly. Yeah, teammates are a bit RNG on whether or not they'll be good teammates, especially when there are hackers and auto-clickers ruining things. They're just bad teammates to have to deal with. Bad teammates, bad enemies, just in any case, when you run into them, it's a bad game. I have not been having as much fun with this game as I should be having. Mainly because this game is plagued with cheaters. Auto-clickers and hackers have been running amok lately, and I'm still waiting on a ban wave. I have been reporting the same people for months now. It's just completely and utterly ridiculous that I still have to deal with this. Anyway, on the more positive side of things, I figured out that honey makes a very good sweetener for certain flavors of tea. And coffee. Didn't see that one coming. It tastes really good in certain flavors of coffee. Yeah, this is gonna sound weird, but a spoonful of creamer on a cinnamon roll flavored coffee. Add plenty of honey in there, and you mostly taste honey. I should probably be talking about the gameplay and the characters. So Ganfall, really good. He is surprisingly decent at defending against Kuzan and certain other EX characters, especially ones that a lot of characters actually struggle against. Like Roger, he has a decent time against him, but then again, so do a lot of characters these days. Lucci, on the other hand, a lot of characters struggle against him these days, but Ganfall can actually deal with him fairly nicely. Garp, that one is a hit or miss. Sabo, he's still just about half impossible to defend against. Dark Roger, he can defend very nicely against him. Akainu is a problem, but overall he has some pretty good matchups. As for Pacifista, he has some pretty decent matchups against anyone that he can knock back, or anyone that likes to hide behind a wall. Notably, he does well against Sabo. Sabo uses a counter, and both of his skills can hit right through that flame shield he makes from the counter, and usually KO him on the spot with that. And also he does decently against Kuzan, unless he gets hit by a skill, in which case his shield is just dead. Roger is a bit of a problem unless you get your knockback going, because if he lets you you can cheese him pretty easily. Alright, Lightshanks is still in the meta. So, Pacifista does well against him. Ganfall actually struggles against him. And Ganfall on the offense does not work as well. Prime example of Pacifista against Lucci. Well, not really a fair one because, well, his health's kinda low. However, Lightshanks, well, actually, it's not a 1v1. It can be hard to showcase these characters properly and show their matchups. But a win is a win either way. It actually is possible to dodge that, it's just very hard to time. Something interesting about these characters is that they both pretty much center around their skill 2, as just a powerful move that can KO people really easily. Which is also why I like to give Ganfall plenty of attack, because they don't see it coming, the counter can insta-kill some characters. I like my profile. It's such a shame to have to move on from these characters, because usually after I get characters' titles, I don't go back to them very often, and just start immediately on getting new titles. But these two were actually a lot of fun to play as. And some of the other characters that I'm trying out are nowhere near as fun. Some of them need a buff really, really badly. But half the time when I need a character to have a buff, that happens like 3 days after I already have their title. So, that's just how it goes. So you might notice that I've been healing quite a bit as Pacifista. I gave him healing on knockback as well as healing on KO. And healing on crit as well. So basically a lot of healing. To sum it up, what you want is a lot of healing, just about as much healing as possible, and plenty of HP and defense, and if you can get that shield consistent, then the rest of it does its own job. You get the skill cooldown fast enough to not have to worry about it. Or you can just attack with your melee attacks and get your shield back if you're consistent. Or if you just be careful and use your skill 2 at the right time, then that takes out most of your issues. But as soon as your shield's gone, well, that happens. Yeah, I knew it was going right for that. Well, that's problematic. Never mind, no problem at all. fact, me and Kuzan almost KO'd him. Good game. And here's the support that I used. So Defender, Zoan, and New World. Those are really good support tags for Dark. And a few secondary tags. They're not near as important. Now for Ganfall, or is it Ganfall? Not sure. I pretty much went with a bunch of attack and skill 2 cooldown. I tried HP and defense, but attack seemed to work better. For Pacifista, the opposite of that was true, where I tried attack and even tried skill 2 cooldown, and that did not work. So HP and defense worked a lot better and more consistently, and with a bunch of HP recovery, you can just rely on your shield to do the rest of the work. And if you want HP recovery, this is one of the best sets overall for that. Well, if your character relies on knockback. Anyways, that will be all. Until next time.